Jak 3. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started with this, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, thanks for watching, whatever you want me to say. Fuck it. This is season 4 finale of Sykes World, episode 9. Let's go. This is the gaming half of the episode, so we're gonna break it down. It's not a top 10. We're just talking about Jak 3 and how much it's great. Talking about the Jak and Daxter trilogy, as it were. And it's truly just phenomenal. Errol being one of the bad guys because he raced against him way back when, and then, you know, he's in the Jak X video game, and we got to shout out to the Jak X video game just because it's part of the trilogy, even though it's the 4th iteration of the game, that being Jak and Daxter. Jak 3 is the greatest.
The truth lies at the bottom of the catacombs. That's where I need to go.
You know what I mean? It's just the entire thing, the entire premise, the entire show. Let me change up how I'm speaking to you. The bottom line is whatever they chose for the premise of the trilogy is just top tier storytelling. It's a good game. I mean, the functionality is a little bit and the camera is way fucked up on this game. I mean, if you were looking for a calm experience, then you were plain plumb out of luck. You're not gonna get that, you know. I think in the game though, one of my favorite things is probably the hoverboard, you know, because you can do tricks on it, and it has its own weapon to it, and it has the ability to hold a jump, and it can propel you higher. And then the guns on the game, you get 4 guns, and out of the 4 guns, each one gets 3 modes, 2 upgrades each. First one is the red gun. It's a shotgun blast that upgrades to a ring, like an energy ring. You can hold it, and the longer you hold it, the further it will span on the ground, and it'll hit every enemy around you on the ground. And then the final part of it is a grenade launcher. Basically, it just throws a grenade. Then you've got the blue gun. Blue gun starts out as a Gatling gun, then it turns into a energy beam, basically, that kind of just whips around. Then it gives these energy needles that fly in these spirals and circles and shit, and they just go all over the place, sort of like the arrow that they used on Guardians of the Galaxy that you could whistle for, you know what I mean? The yellow gun has a dart it fires out, and then it turns into a bouncing dart. It bounces all over the place, and you can jump up twice, double jump, and then spin, and then hit the fire, and it'll go all over the place. It'll be a bunch of bullets bouncing all over the room, lasers basically. And the last gun is an anti-gravity gun. That's how it starts out. Then its second part is like an energy blast, and you fire it, and it just finds, it's like a little energy electric ball, and it finds any enemy close, and it just goes to get them. They can't get away from it. Then the last part is it's a nuke, a literal fucking nuke, from an anti-gravity gun to a nuke. I mean, this game is insane. Once you get to a certain point in the game, you can go from the desert to the city, and then the city has all types of places you can go, and then there's the catacombs. The map never really stops turning and turning and turning, you know what I'm saying? And when you're in the desert, there's a whole city inside of the desert where the survivors and shit go. Then there's a place where you have to go to get your light Jak powers. There's light Jak and dark Jak. They give you fucking superpowers in this game. If that is not enough to get you up, like your light Jak eventually gets wings, but he starts out with regeneration, then he gets a shield, and then he has the power to pause time, kind of like Blinks. Y'all gotta look that up if you don't know anything about it. This is the gaming channel, so we'll do something about, you know, on Blinks later on, but not yet. Dark Jak has like invisibility. He has this like you jump up in the air and he hits the ground, and it's a big wave of dark energy, a dark eco, and it just goes everywhere. Then you have he fires this double energy thing of dark eco, and his other one is like he jumps up in the air and he spins really fast and shoots out this electricity, and it literally hits every single enemy around you. And then Jak himself, without any of that, has combat moves, you know, and he can roll and he can dodge. He can do so much just by himself. Even Daxter has his own fucking moveset, and in the earlier games they explored more with Daxter and what you could do with him. When you're out in the desert and you're part of the desert city or whatever you want to call it, you get more, you get cars, you know what I'm saying, cars with 4 wheels and shit that can travel all over the desert, and they have different abilities. My favorite is the Hopper, and you'll use that to go most places in the game. There's one that just has this giant gun on it. There's the Heat Seeker, it's really fucking fast. There's all types of, you know, just treats as far as the Outlands go. Then there are things you can buy to enhance your experience in the game. Stuff that's like mods and cheat codes, and it's within the game. You don't have to buy anything, just get the game and that's it. You know what I mean? This game is very good. And I know y'all were probably hoping for a deep intellectual retrospective dive on this game, kind of like I did in the Spirited Away video, but no, this is totally different. I'm just kind of geeking out about this game and how good it is. Even all of these years later, with all of the flaws that it does have, it's still something that can grab your attention. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that can pull you away from this game once you actually get to liking it. And it doesn't take much for you to love it, I promise. Then we gotta, like I said, talk about Jak X. Jak X was the follow-up to the trilogy. It was the 4th game. I guess 5th game maybe, because they had a Game Boy Advance game where you could fly around and there were planes, and that's basically what it was. They copied the Diddy Kong Racing formula, or the Super Mario formula. We have a platformer that's very popular. Let's make a racing game out of it. Let's make a plane game out of it. Diddy Kong Racing, you know, you got to do hoverboats, planes, and carts, you know, race cars, whatever you want to call it. Basically, the best thing about Jak 3 is it's just fucking versatile, man. Like, there's so much you can do. And the fact that this is a game where they thought, alright, we need to add side missions so that people can do other stuff even when they're done with the game or during the game, you know, and there are things you can go around and have fun with after you're done with the game. You can still do or partake in races and challenges, stuff to up your score and upgrade your everything. It's just amazing. And then the story, so don't get me started on the story.
A bit. And we get the respect we deserve.
You idiots! Get down from there and stop defiling that glorious machine!
Do not let our size fool you. We are the most powerful beings in the universe.
We are?
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. Back to Jak X. Anyway, Jak X was just a racing game, and all of us who saw the game come out after all of that trilogy of games, we were disappointed at first, because how could this possibly be better? And holy shit, they took us for a fucking ride. It was amazing. The story was as basic as could be. Spoilers, as I said. Jak and his crew end up coming back to Haven City, I believe, to work for Crew, who's died, and his daughter, I forget her name, I think it's Rain, but you find out she's working, you know, for her father the whole time, and her father really is dead, but she's taken over the family business for him. It's a crime organization sort of thing, but they never followed up on any of this. They just left us out in the cold once the game was over. So you face off against the big bad guy. He's the news reporter guy, and he turns out to be the crime lord Mizo, you know. And so Jak, Torin, Ashlyn, Dax, of course, whatever that girl's name is that fixes stuff, Mira? No, that's not her name. And her father, you know, the guy with the glasses and the wooden shit and the staff that's in the first game, they all, you know, team up to race, except for the old man. Yeah, he's not racing. But you can unlock all types of people. You can unlock the enemies, the villains, the bad guys, the good guys. You can unlock 2 different generations of Jack, which is just awesome. You can unlock, I think, 1 other character from a completely different game, and they just added that in. All you got to do is go into the game and get the necessary things needed. And the same is to be said with Jak 3. This is why I'm telling y'all, like, Jak and Daxter is the best trilogy game. It's the best continuity based story game there is. And for you pussy ass bedwetting MCU fans out there, it's a multiverse story. It's a multiverse game. It's based on time travel. That's everything. Jak is the legendary warrior known as Mar. He was the whole time, and his father was also a legendary warrior in the Outlands, but he didn't know, and he didn't know that Jak was his son at first. But he's like, guys, Jak, you kind of remind me of my son, and everything just kind of culminated in this huge finale for the game. And I'm telling you, the cutscenes came together really well. So when it comes down to what the best game is, it's got to be Jak 3. But that's out of the 3 big games that I try to mention on PlayStation, or from Sony, or from Naughty Dog, whatever. I don't know what fucking company they were from. But the bottom line is, it's Sly Cooper, Blinx, then Jak and Daxter, of course, obviously. Blinx is just a great game if you are into being able to fucking control time, you know. Yeah, no, it really is an experience, and I suggest you check it out if you can. It's going to be really hard for you to get a copy of Blinx these days. Then there's Sly Cooper. If you've never played Sly Cooper, I'm so sorry, you missed out on something phenomenal. A game that also has something to do with multiversal travel. Then PlayStation went as far as to make a PlayStation Stars, Superstar, Battle Royale, Rumble, some kind of game like that, where they take all of these PlayStation characters from famous Sony games and they just, you know what I'm saying, they put it and you fight. And Jak, I think, was one of them in the game. So it's easy to say, needless to say, that Sony hasn't forgotten about this character. Sony hasn't forgotten about Jak, but what are they doing? They're just sitting around and waiting. And if you're not going to give us anything, please just, you know, tell us that you're done. Tell us that you need no more. Because if I got to repeat it again, we love Jak and Daxter. It's dope. It's phenomenal. It's dope. We love Jak and Daxter. Come on. I mean, really get with the program. It's a great game, man. The precursors, and then they turn out to be Otzels or whatever the fuck. And then Count Viger and Errol and just, oh, it all came together so great. And then it led into Jak X. Jak X, I feel like, is where they should have finished or left off, but they couldn't do that, and the story kind of leaves you with this ambiguous ending. It's very doubtful as to what's going to happen. But I forget what Mizo was going by, his fake name, some kind of news weatherman sort of name, but Brent Steeljaw, some shit like that, I don't know. But the fact is, he was lying the whole time and he died. But I get the feeling he's not really gone. He was a good character, and he was flawed, like every single one of these dumb motherfuckers who fell for this shit, and they drank to Mizo, or drank to Crew's death, when they should have just, you know, let that ride. I wouldn't have drank a single fucking thing. They drank it because they saw Rain drink it, and then they find a message at the end of the game where it's like, oh, Rain, you drink yours just a second before theirs and you won't be poisoned at all. It's like, oh wow, y'all really set people up here, you know what I'm saying? But the game it kicks ass, and it's all because of Jak and Daxter, the trilogy. You know, Jak X wouldn't be what it was without. But this video is about Jak 3. So before we move on, I just want to remind you guys to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hey, while you're at it, leave a comment. We like that. Moving on. Daxter was at odds with himself at a certain point in the series because he had been changed into an Otzel and he missed his former form, whatever that was. It wouldn't be human because obviously the characters in this game are not human. But the fact that he basically turns out to be a god because he was changed into one due to the energy that touched him, that was put on their planet by said gods or whatever you want to call them. It is mind-blowing. I suggest, this is a whole plug. This whole thing is a plug for my series, Jak 3 and Me. I'm going to put the link in the description. You guys check that shit out. I promise you, you will have fun. The videos are relatively short. There's only one really long one that's about 40-something minutes. And even then, the gameplay, it goes, you know, I don't do the whole die and keep trying and doing shit over and over. I clipped everything down so that we're not looking at the beginning of the game to the end of the game. You're looking somewhere near the middle of the game, closer towards the end. And that's where my series Jak 3 and Me picks up. And it's I can't get over it. I'm literally watching the video right now. I should get video footage for these episodes for Sykes World. But it's just a phenomenal game. I mean, really. I mean, it really gives me the feeling that Ghost of Tsushima does. And I don't mean that they play the same way by any means, or that Jak 3 is on the level of game that Ghost of Tsushima is. What I mean is the unique style that they approached the game from. Gave a unique experience that probably wouldn't necessarily age well, but you're always going to be able to go back and look at it and say, this is something truly unique and phenomenal at that. I won't waste any more of your time telling you of the phenomenon that this game was, but it can compare to so many other games in that there is none like it, you know, except for the other two that I mentioned, Blinx and Sly Cooper. Bully is something that comes to mind when I think of this game. Bully needs its own series. Jak 3 or Jak and Daxter is a series that needs to be continued, and I think that they need to take Daxter out, not kill him off, or maybe they do kill him off and he comes back to life or something, blah blah blah. We get a different Daxter from a different time, whatever. We have so many things we can go over. Also, at the end of Jak 3, when the so-called gods, the Atzils, tell Jak that there are many more adventures to be had.
Or was it the past?
Yes, I was getting to that.
More adventures? Where have I heard that before?
And Jak goes and gets on the ship with
We have
them.
something to show you.
What?
The universe.
And they take off. Jak walks up behind Daxter and everybody and he says, hey, you know, I'm not going anywhere, blah blah blah, this and that. You know, I think, and I'm gonna put it in this clip here, I think that Jak is a different Jak from a different time, and the Jak that we know, we watched get on that ship and fly away. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes the most sense. Nothing else about it makes sense if we're trying to think of it logistically. You know, it's a game that's based on time travel and multiversal theory, whatever you want to call it. There's no way that this game wasn't, that it didn't end that way. There's no way that this game ended with a thud, you know what I'm saying, a confusing, like the plot twist would have to be right there, right? It would have to be that simple. That's what I think. That's just me. I'm just thinking out loud on that one. There's no way it can be the same fucking Jak. There's not. Anyway, also I think Jak's father probably is alive in another timeline or something. But yeah, they showed him in a different game as a child with the necklace on, and then, you know, his father, Kragen, I don't know, the leader of the Outlands, the Wastelands of the desert, the desert city anyway, he had the necklace that Jak had on, and then there was the story about Mar, and it was the same symbol on the necklace. And yes, there are so many things they connected about this game that just made sense. They brought it together perfectly with a good ending. Jak 3, Jak and Daxter trilogy, along with Jak X, not the Game Boy Advance game, don't check that out, but check out all of that other shit if you haven't. And I am done ranting and raving about this game. and how great it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Syke. This has been Syke's World, the finale episode of Season 4, Episode 9. Thanks for watching. Once again, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you have not. And hey, while you're at it, leave a comment. We like that. And peace, motherfucker. I came to do this, I know how. And everybody really wants to go out on a limb and say I'm not one of them or the greatest in the room. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Peace out, y'all. No more echo. Okay, I'm done with the echo. We really gotta go. No, we gotta go now. We gotta go. I told you we gotta go. I know you want to keep recording and shit, but I mean, hey, we're at our limit. You know what I'm saying? We've hit the mark. We gotta leave. Yo, look, peace out, y'all motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for listening and thanks for watching. This is Syke's World. And happy Halloween, you daft motherfucker.